Hello Libra, welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. Okay, creativity, collaboration, that's Three of Coins it opens with. Let's see, Three of Coins is a card that usually has a focus on group projects, collaborating with others. Because it's a 3 card, it usually has to do with creativity, and in this case, in this particular deck, it only shows the worker, the one who's actually doing the work on the building. But in the Rider-Waite, which is the standard of the deck, there's 3 figures, which represented by the 3 coins. And the 3 figures are the actual worker, the person who is contracting the work, so the architect, the person who's sort of organizing it, and then also the client or the person who the work is being done for. So this shows that creativity and collaboration produces results. So when this card shows up for you, which it does, is group collaborations, group projects, collaborating with others. That's really featured for you now, and there's a lot of creativity available through that. I do show that there is some sort of sorrow or loss that you're trying to avoid, Libra, and you know internally that it's not connecting you with the truth, or you're closing part of yourself off that kind of knows better. It's sort of like not trying to not listen to that still small voice inside you that is connected with the truth. The reason I'm saying that is because there's these 3 cards which are all in reverse. This is sorrow. This card, 5 of Cups, means heartbreak. This focus on these 3 cups that have spilled. So this could be either blood or wine. Cups represent the emotional element. They represent the heart. So this is a focus on loss of the heart. And you can see the figure is grieving or mourning. What the figure fails to see is that if he or she turns around their perspective, if they do a 180, they actually have more love available to them. It's sort of like life goes on. This is that, heart energy is still available. But if we focus completely on, say, the past, what has already happened, how our hearts have been spilled, things that we have lost, this is like a focus on loss, grieving, sorrow, we sometimes miss out on what is available to us, the love that is sitting there waiting for us, until we can turn around, change our perspective, and see what's behind us. So that's a focus on sorrow. And then High Priestess is inner knowledge, listening, knowing, receiving information from your inner self, connecting with your intuition. And Ace of Swords is the truth. It's the crowning truth. It's the Excalibur card. It is the crowned victory. Swords represent thought, experience, knowledge, and one sword represents the one thought, one truth. So when an Ace of Swords represents clarity, it represents new thought, it represents revelation, it represents being open to the truth coming in. And you're an air sign, Libra, so for you, themes of truth, justice, equanimity, all those are very strong themes for you. When Ace of Swords appears in the reverse, as it is here for the beginning of November for you, there's some sort of truth that you're not trying to acknowledge, or that you're trying to not acknowledge. It's keeping you separated from the truth, separated from your own inner knowing, this focus on the despair, on the old heartbreak, on the loss, on the grieving, whatever that represents. Libra, it's keeping you stuck away from yourself, away from your own inner knowing, and away from the truth. So be careful that you don't get hung up in the past, in the loss. This is like, this is new moon. This is new information emerging. This is the truth out in front for you. So truth in the night of your subconscious, and truth in the open light of the day. It's actually interesting because she forms a bridge between these 2 cards, and you can see it's interesting. This pillar, these are the 2 pillars of Boaz and Joachim. But it's the temple that holds up Solomon's temple. That's where she resides. But you can see the dark cloak is echoed here in this pillar of Boaz, and then this light is sort of, along with the light of the truth. So she is the bridge. Go with your inner knowing, your inner knowledge, your intuition, which you may be suppressing and not listening to right now. This new moon, new information that will help connect you with the truth, Libra. Right now, you're too much focused on the old way, the old path, the loss, the grieving, sorrow, whatever it is that you've lost. You're missing out. You may be missing out on what is available to you, and it's cutting you off. So I'd like you to get quiet, go within and listen. I think too, towards the middle of the month, this card's going to help you a lot. Star is about getting quiet, listening within too, but Star is about hope and recognizing your own intrinsic value, your own place in the universe. Just as this bird, this tree, this star, the flower all have their own unique value and place in the universe, so does this woman here. So does the figure, male or female. This is about someone who is self-accepting. That's what her nakedness means here. She's open, she's vulnerable. She doesn't have any trappings of the outer world. No crown, no robes, no nothing. She's exactly as she is. And she radiates this sort of gentle inner light because of that. She's also kneeling, which is in this sort of vulnerable position. And she's got one foot in the water, which represents the emotional world, and one foot on land, which represents being grounded. So Star is a great card of recognizing your own internal worth, your own value, and your own place in the universe. And it's also a great card of hope. So this is a card of sort of getting quiet, listening, recognizing your own worth, just being you, radiating your gentle light, in recognizing your own place and order within the universe. So that's a beautiful card. And this will help resolve what's going on here. I do see that there's something sudden, shocking, changing that brings you tremendous emotional fulfillment, Libra, mid-month. Oh my God. You're not going to see this one coming. But Tower's a card that shakes up your world. You can see its lightning bolts coming like a storm to break down all the old structures, old beliefs, old systems, old archetypes, old life, old, structures, rigid things that have been in place for a long time. This can be either a terrifying card, if you're clinging on to what exists, or it can be a liberating card. If you're ready for old structures to come down, Libra, look at the beautiful result that follows it. This is like the storm, and this is the day after the storm. I mean, you know how when it rains, then we see rainbows? That's exactly the message that's happening here. In fact, not only is it raining, but it's like a lightning and thunderstorm. Waves are crashing, the winds are blowing, fire is burning. It's like all the elements are happening, and it's explosion. But look at the beauty that comes after that. This is 10 of Cups. And this is the most amount of cups that can appear on a card. This is a card about joy, fulfillment, peace, love. You can see the two people are holding up the same heart. Cups represent emotion, represent the heart. They represent, water element. So, and you can see the rainbow ends in the cup here. That's the treasure. That's the gold. That's the richness. That's what. There's hardly more to say about this, but this is abundance. This is the calm after the storm, the beautiful day, the rising of the sun. All the colors come into Technicolor, and it's as much love as can possibly be on one card. So this is a beautiful card after the storm. You're gonna see that it really does have to be with being vulnerable. Being yourself just as you are, no trappings, no titles, no outer social status stuff, no worries about who you are in society or any of that stuff, just you, just as you were born, right there with the stars, in nature, your natural self. Then things change, things break open. After being vulnerable, recognizing your own worth, showing up just as you are, kaboom, this volcano comes, this tumultuous change, or, liberation. This is sudden, and this is unexpected, and this comes out of nowhere. But look at what it brings. Joy, fulfillment, love, family. All beautiful stuff there, Libra. This is your happy place, by the way, Libra. You guys like to be here. And then this is interesting. This is Judgment in reverse, a major arcana card, by the way. And Judgment has to do, so is Star, and so is High Priestess. So Judgment has to do with obvious judgment, but it has to do with letting the ghosts of the past go, letting old baggage be old baggage, wiping things out that are old through the spiritual fire of forgiveness. Now, when this trumpet blasts, what it means is it burns away everything that was old, and all the souls rise up that, I'll call this old stories, old baggage, family stuff, relationship stuff, childhood stuff, anything that's old baggage, old news, ghosts of the past, that gets burned away with new life. This is like the rebirth card, regeneration. And it has a lot to do, I believe, with forgiveness, forgiving the old stories of the past, burning away what is no longer true and relevant to your current life. So I'm going to say, with this in reverse, be careful of negative judgment. Be careful of being critical of others. Try to employ forgiveness. That's one of the highest aspects of this card of Judgment, is reserving judgment for oneself, letting, and even being forgiving of yourself and the ghosts of the past. If you haven't, you're old, letting your own past go, letting others' past actions go. This trumpet, this fire is so strong. It burns, it resonates through sound, through the fire. It burns everything out. It just cleanses everything. So use the powerful cleansing force of forgiveness and get rid of those ghosts of the past, whether it's with yourself or with someone else. I mean, you may be having trouble letting go of something, Libra, but this card says that you can. It's actually interesting because this being in reverse is also what's keeping you away from recognizing the truth. And perhaps there's some sort of heartbreak or betrayal. I mean, it could be related to this, that is keeping these in check, that is keeping forgiveness upside down, keeping the truth upside down, preventing you from being reborn, going through a rebirth, being in alignment with the truth. I'm not sure, but that's a definite possibility with these. Towards the end of the month, I see that you're ready for a new beginning, new lifestyle. This could even be new money. Ace of Coins. It's funny, today as I'm doing this is actually Ace of Coins day. Ace of Coins means, aces are always beginnings, and coins represent the earth element, so it represents material, possessions. Really funny that this aligns with the new moon in Scorpio. And this is actually showing up in your second house. The new moon in Scorpio is in your second house, which has to do with possessions, assets, things you own, values. And the new moon in Scorpio represents new passions, new desires, new things regarding that second house theme. So this is a really prominent theme for you, not only at the beginning with the new moon in Scorpio, but also here at the end of the month. So Libra, what is it that you want to draw to yourself? What is it that you want to bring into your life? What sort of lifestyle do you want to have? What sort of things do you want to own or possess or have? It could be physical things, it could be relationship, it could be abstract values like patience, or whatever it is that you want to draw to yourself. Set those intentions now, Libra. Wonderful time for that for you. I do see that this is being challenged by these two things, which has to do with resources and fairness, and has to do with the Loving Father card. This card, King of Cups, is the expert. He, in matters of the heart, he often represents a father figure. So this could be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So this could be someone from your past, like a father who was emotionally unstable. Or it could be you, connecting, not feeling like you're a good father or not feeling like you're a good partner. This is the man who comes from a place of compassion and love. And in the reverse position says, he might have been not himself, not loving, not compassionate, not identifying or aligning with that archetype of the loving father, of the perfect loving partner. Um, and that may be challenging you in terms of what you're able to create, what you're able to bring into your life, what you're wanting, or the new passions, the new desires in terms of what you would like to own or possess. There's also a certain amount of giving and taking that's out of balance. This card is Six of Coins, which has to do with resources. It has to do with power. It has to do with balancing of things. We see in the card, you know, a man who's handing out coins. We see two beggars. One is receiving the coins and one is not. So I always ask, who do you identify with in this card? The person who's giving, the person who's receiving, or the person who's not receiving at all? There's something about this card that's out of balance, out of whack. It's in reverse. So it's challenging this new beginning. And it may be keeping you in a place of feeling stuck, feeling like the dark clouds are happening, you know, betrayal, loss, disappointment. There's something to do with the giving and receiving being out of balance here. And who do you identify with? Being the giver, the receiver, or the person who doesn't receive at all? You might want to consider that, Libra, because this is a real theme for you. These scales are actually the image of your sign. So it's really through the balance of giving and receiving, equivalency, not out of whack, not one too much in either direction, that this card has its balance, power, resources. You know, it's a card of materialism. It's a card of, or values, actually. I should say it's a card of values. So how are your values out of whack? Does it relate to a father figure? Does it relate to a water sign that has influenced you, where you feel you can't be accepting and receiving of Ace of Coins energy, new lifestyle, new values, new possessions, new assets, new desires regarding those things you want to have in your life? So I want you to focus on the image I'm going to give you, Libra, for the end of the month, especially around Thanksgiving here, is put out an open hand. Be willing to receive the goldness, the abundance, especially emotional abundance as well as physical abundance that the world wants to give to you. Put yourself in a place of receiving. This is saying there you might have challenges towards that. You might be the empty hand that just feels like you don't receive anything. Let yourself contrast. What does it feel like to be this person who doesn't receive anything? What does it feel like to be the person who's got their hand out waiting to receive something from someone? What does it feel like to be the person who has received something, who is receiving something? I want you to consider what these two cards mean to you, Libra. And what is out of whack? What might be related to this person? And what's keeping you stuck in this pattern of heartbreak or loss or disappointment? That doesn't always have to be. You can adjust this. You can choose this, or you can choose this, Libra. That's your choice here. Who do you want to be?